In Season of the Lost, Bungie switched up the Nightfall weapon rotation, so we got 2 dropping per week. Well, today I'm going to go over the best Nightfall weapons in Season of the Lost, plus look at the schedule and also the weapon rotation too. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. And roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed, so subscribe today and never miss an update. Well, first of all today, let's have a look at the weapon rotation for the Nightfall weapons all the way up until the Witch Queen. So I get this question a lot in the comments, what is the Nightfall weapon this week and when is a particular weapon coming back? So what I'm going to do is put all the dates and the weapons on screen for a few seconds, so if you ever get stuck you can always come back to this video, check it out and you can see what Nightfall weapon is dropping that week. Well, now we've had a look at the schedule for the Nightfall weapons all the way up until the Witch Queen, let's have a look at the best Nightfall weapons in Season of the Lost. So at number 8 we've got the Hothead, and this one is a legendary power rocket launcher. It has an adaptive frame, meaning it's got a well-rounded grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy. So looking at the stats, we've got 46 for stability, 52 for handling, 50 for reload speed, 61 for velocity, 75 for blast radius. It's a 20 rounds per minute rocket launcher with 1 in the magazine. So for PvE, volatile launch, alloy casing, tracking module and vorpal weapon would be a decent roll. So volatile launch gives you that increased blast radius but a slight reduction in velocity and handling, whereas alloy casing greatly increases reload speed at a small cost of stability. Well, the tracking module adds tracking to rockets and vorpal weapon, does increased damage to bosses. For PvP, confined launch, high velocity rounds, quick draw and explosive light would be a decent roll. So confined launch gives you more stability and blast radius at the cost of a little bit of velocity, whereas high velocity rounds gives you more velocity and then reload speed too. Quick draw gets the weapon in your hands nice and fast, and finally explosive light increases the blast radius and damage after picking up an orb of power. Well, next up at number 7 we've got the Comedian, and that one is a legendary energy shotgun, and this one has an aggressive frame, meaning this one is hard hitting with high recoil, and it's also got increased rate of fire after a kill. Looking at the stats, it's got 80 for impact, 35 for range, 31 for stability, 37 for handling, 42 for reload speed. It's a 55 rounds per minute shotgun with 4 in the magazine. 4 PvP rifle barrel assault mag, subsistence and vorpal weapon would be good. So rifle barrel gives that increase in range, and assault mag gives you more stability and also increases the rate of fire. Subsistence reloads from reserves after a kill, and vorpal weapon is really good for killing guardians and their super. For PvE, smoothbore, accurized rounds, hipfire grip, and trench barrel will be good. So smoothbore gives you increased range, accurized rounds gives you even more range, and hipfire grip gives you increased accuracy, stability, and precision hit targeting when firing from the hip. And finally, trench barrel gives you that increased damage after a successful melee hit. Well, at number 6 we have the Swarm, and this one is a legendary power machine gun with a high impact frame, meaning it's slow firing and it's got high damage. The weapon is also more accurate when stationary and you're aiming down the sights. Looking at the stats, you've got 70 for impact, 72 for range, 40 for stability, 44 for reload speed. It's a 360 rounds per minute machine gun with 47 in the magazine. So a decent roll for PvE is outlaw and vorpal weapon. You get that increase in damage against bosses with vorpal weapon, and also precision kills decrease the reload time with outlaw. For PvP, dynamic sway reduction Zen moment would be a decent roll, but I'm not really sure this is great in PvP, although let me know down in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Next up at number 5 we've got the Shadow Price. This one is a legendary energy auto rifle with a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. So looking at the stats, you've got 29 for impact, 67 for range, 50 for stability, 49 for handling, 52 for reload speed. It's a 450 rounds per minute auto rifle with 33 in the magazine. So the most popular role out there at the moment is Dragonfly and Overflow, and then also another popular role is Frenzy and Swashbuckler, and both of those would be great for PvE. Third most popular is Killing Wind and One for All, and that could be a good PvP role, but Thresh and Surplus is also a popular role, and it seems like most of the popular roles out there at the moment are PvE roles, but I got Feeding Frenzy and Disruption Break, which is neither a decent PvE or PvP role, so I'm going to have a look out for another one in the future. Well, next up at number 4 we've got the Hung Jury SR4, and this one is a legendary kinetic scout rifle. This one is a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. So looking at the stats, it was 62 for impact, 54 for range, 60 for stability, 55 for handling, 51 for reload speed. It's a 180 rounds per minute scout rifle with 16 in the magazine. Well, for PvE, rapid hit and firefly is a good role to look out for, and also surplus and explosive payload, that would be really good too. For PvP, moving target and box breathing would be a decent role, so I mainly use this one in PvE content, so I was really looking out for firefly. I did manage to get surplus and firefly, which isn't too bad, but the combo of rapid hit and firefly does sound very, very tempting, although the odds of getting that one are pretty slim. Well, next up at number 3, we got the Plug 1. This is a legendary energy fusion rifle with a precision frame, and this means the weapon recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. So look at the stats. We've got 80 for impact, that is huge impact, 62 for range, 54 for stability, 42 for handling, 38 for reload speed. It's got a charge time of 740, and it's got 6 in the magazine. For PvE, heating up and reservoir burst to be a decent role. So heating up has that trait where final blows of the weapon increase accuracy and stability while improving the vertical recoil, whereas the reservoir burst effect is when the battery is full and your next burst deals additional damage, causing your enemies to explode, and that is always entertaining. Liquid coils are really good for the battery, so you've got slower building charge for higher damage, and that increases the impact damage, but has a slower charge time. And finally, you've got corkscrew rifling, which is good for the increase in range and stability, and slightly increased handling speed. Also, for PvE, feeding frenzy and cornered is good, with cornered giving you a faster charge time when surrounded by enemies. For PvP, corkscrew rifling, projection fuse, or accelerated coils would be good. Heating up and kickstart is definitely a good combination. What we want to do is greatly increase the range for this one, and corkscrew rifling and projection fuse give us a plus 15 to the range stats, making it really good across PvP maps. Accelerated coils is also good for reducing the charge time, and heating up is great, especially in 6v6, as when you get a kill this fusion becomes much more effective and deadly. Kickstart on the other hand is a new fusion rifle perk, and it does take it up a notch, so after you slide, your charge rate will decrease and damage will increase for a short period of time. But if you don't like sliding around on the ground, then backup plan is always a safe bet. Well, in at number 2 we got the Uzume RR4, and that one is a energy sniper rifle. And that one deals solar damage, it's got an adaptive frame, meaning it's got a well-rounded grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy. So looking at the stats, got 70 for impact, 64 for range, 53 for stability, 51 for handling, 50 for reload speed. It's a 90 rounds per minute sniper rifle with 4 in the magazine. For PvP, snapshot sights and vorpal weapon would be good. Accurized rounds are also useful to increase the range by plus 10, and for the barrel, arrowhead break would be good for better recoil control and an increase in handling speed. Also another good PvP role could be Killing Wind and Dragonfly. For PvE, triple tap and explosive payload would be good, so Pendant Mag would pair really well with this to increase the magazine size, and also corkscrew rifling would be really good to increase the range and stability, as well as the increase to handling. Finally, another good PvE role would be Clown Cartridge, and that trait randomly overfills from reserves, plus also high impact reserves for rounds at the end of the magazine, doing even more damage. Well, finally, we've got the number 1 Nightfall weapon in Season of the Lost, and that one is the Palindrome, and this one is a legendary energy hand cannon. It's got an adaptive frame, meaning it's got a well-rounded grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy. So look at the stats, got 84 for impact, 55 for range, 62 for stability, 55 for handling, 48 for reload speed. It's a 140 rounds per minute hand cannon with 10 in the magazine. So for PvP, quick draw and rangefinder would be really good, or perhaps Killing Wind and rangefinder too. Quick draw and high impact reserves would also be good for PvP, for that boost in damage when the magazine is lower. For PvE, Outlaw and Rampage stands out as the classic pairing, plus this is the most popular role out there in the community at the moment. So Overflow and One for All would also be good, as Overflow gives you more ammo when you pick up special or heavy ammo, so you could be running around with a magazine much higher than 10. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of the Nightfall weapons this season, and let me know what you want to see come back, or what weapon type you want to see in Nightfalls when we get to Witch Queen. Well, that is it for this guide for the Nightfall weapon rotation in Destiny 2, and also the best Nightfall weapons in Season of the Lost. And as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.